fourth segment time. Back to that first memory thing. So, like, I don't know what my first memory is because I don't know chronologically how these events played out. But one of the earliest memories I have was actually a nightmare.
Mhm.
Which I think is interesting. I almost like came up for a theory there for a second that that was my brain starting to actually like write memories that I would, actually remember. And so that's what caused the nightmare. You know, was my brain kicking into this new stage in its uh growth.
It was a nightmare.
Yeah. I remember waking up and my parents having to deal with me after like freaking out about it. And that is when I always had a radio and a nightlight in my room.
Mm.
And I always had them leave the light on and the TV on outside my room and they would watch TV and I'd make sure they were still out there. And I did that as a kid for a long time. It took me until I was like probably 8, maybe even 9 years old before I finally was like, yeah, you can. I was like, yeah, you don't have to do that anymore. But that I think that's the earliest I can remember. It's hard to know because I one of my other early memories was this beehive. These bees moved into my daycare, and I remember one of the days because like we remember one day there was just all these black dots flying around, and we're like, oh, they're bees. Well, then the next day we saw they built a hive in the trees, and they had to
Mm.
go and remove the hive. That's got to be one of the earliest
Like
ones
to
I
call
can.
like an exterminator for that, or
Well, they probably called like a beekeeper, somebody who wants bees, and they went and
oh.
removed them. Because that's what they don't a lot they don't exterminate bees because bees I think are an
Oh.
endangered species. They just get moved and turned to uh, farm bees, and they just basically domesticate them. So yeah, it was. I think that's one of those few, and I've got other memories of daycare. There
You
are like
told me once a while back. You said you remember every birthday you've had till like 3 years old or something.
I don't remember them anymore.
I
I'm
don't remember it
sure
anymore.
if I went back and looked at the photo album, everything would click back and I'd remember every single one of them. I don't remember them anymore. I know I've cried on every single one of them.
I know.
That is a
We have some.
fact.
We have some pictures of some of those.
I know I have cried on every single one of my birthdays. I know that for a fact.
Every single one.
Every single one. Even my 21st, I cried.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you guys pissed me off.
Oh yeah, that's right. But you actually cried.
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't help it. That was finals week.
I, well, I know, but
What'd you
the
expect?
other
It's
two.
final. It's like literally dead week.
I know, but the other two idiots.
Okay, yeah, I get that.
Will being an idiot, as per the
We did
internet.
eventually go to Moore Hall, though.
What bugged me was that you told me last minute. That's what really bugged me.
Well, the
It wasn't that we
like I
weren't
said, I
going.
didn't know I didn't know I'd have to retake a test.
Yeah. Well, I don't. I'm not blaming you. I blame Will mostly.
Uh,
I don't remember what Kyle's reason was, but I think. But you all let me know 2 days before it happened. I'm like, are you serious?
oh yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, yeah, because
Literally all within like 5 minutes of it. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me?
yeah, yeah, because we were gonna supposed to go do the see the Josh fight and everything. You had it all laid out.
Yeah, you guys missed the Josh fight.
Yeah.
You got to see my videos though.
Yeah. I remember I watched a live stream of some guy who was streaming. I watched like a minute of it because it was just
And you
so
saw me
bad.
in there.
It was lagging. Yeah, and you were in the video. Yeah.
Yep. Like, oh my god, he's actually there.
Well, I thought it was crazy how when I started watching it, the moment I started, I saw you.
Yeah.
So what are the odds? I click on a video of a guy who's literally standing behind you.
Yeah.
No, it's what are the odds that happened? Yeah.
I mean,
I'm sure there were, because I don't know how many people were live streaming that were there. It's like the fact that I clicked on the one video of a guy standing behind you.
There were enough people there that the service was bad.
Yeah.
Because they didn't. My phone wasn't terrible just because I have 5G, and so mine was able to hook onto a 5G network, and so mine wasn't terrible. But for most people, I could imagine it's pretty bad.
Because everyone's going to have it, they're going to post it on their story. They're all going to want to take videos, so.
Mine was pretty bad, but I was able to. I didn't hook onto a 5G network, but my phone has that capability if it's available, and 5G can hold a lot
iPhone
more
12
data.
does.
Huh?
iPhone 12 does.
Yes, the first iPhone with 5G. Congratulations, you made it to the modern era.
Because you always like to, we're the last to get on everything. However, we got dark mode Snapchat before you did.
I still don't have it.
I
That reminds me, I have to update. I have so many. My phone doesn't give me notifications about when to update anymore. I don't know why. You know how new phones are.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh my god, I gotta go and update. I'm still in the early stages, where I update everything. Why do I have Netflix on here? I should uninstall that. I don't need that. You know what's interesting? In the Google App Store, when you download TikTok, they make an ad for TikTok. So like when you download TikTok, every time you go into your updates, it's like, hey, go update go on TikTok. I'm like, what? How much did TikTok pay Google to do that? Like, seriously. And also, the Google Play Store is just glitchy. I thought it was just my old phone. No, it's the Google Play Store. It's just glitchy, which is nice. Because, like, you can push the update button on some apps a billion times and it won't update until, like, every other app's finished. And then it'll start, like, saying it's pending. I don't know why, but... Anyway, so yeah. So, okay. Other than, I'm sure if I sat down and I thought about it, I could probably think back to almost every single birthday. So besides those birth ones, what's the
hang on. Will just got back to me.
About what?
Well, about what day would work for him.
What are we talking about? Oh, for the trip. We're going on a trip. I don't want to talk about it because I figured you guys don't want to hear about another trip again. I think we already talked about it, though. So, what do you say?
He just got back to me. I asked if you're if you're with his dad so that we can. He just said, yeah, why?
Never mind.
I don't know what day he's leaving exactly.
He leaves usually about Friday night.
Oh.
Anyways, once he turns 16, though, I think we're allowed to take him with us wherever we go. Because technically, I think once he turns 16, he's legally able to drive, and so he could leave his dad's place. He doesn't have to be there. I think. I know 18. He can do whatever he wants. but I think 16 he doesn't have to stay there like he does now. Because it's, I don't know. I'm sure it's foggy. Because like I'm sure he could go to his dad's every weekend then if he wanted to.
Huh.
Hard to say, or like any day of the week. I think that's how the 16 works. I'm not sure. We'd have to ask him. Anyways, so what besides those birth ones? What's your first memory you can remember?
Oh, besides that, I definitely remember. So I was born in '97. I definitely remember pre August 2000 because August 2000 is when we moved out to our new place. I have memories of the old house that we used to live in.
Wow.
Two or three memories that I can. I remember sitting on the couch one day. We had white walls, white cabinets, and I remember watching the TV. Those like those blue glasses we have for like our milk or whatever. I remember sitting on the couch and there was like a glass near me. That's like one of the first memories I have.
Mm.
And that I would have been
Two or three.
two. I would have turned three in October of 2000.
What is so? I guess.
And so, but I do remember them when they were building the house.
So
So I would have been 2 years old in 8 months or something.
I don't quite know what my first memory of you and Kyle is. I know it would have been you two together. It wouldn't have been just you.
Yeah, I remember. I remember some very early Christmases. We all met up, and do you remember how we had our whole joke about property? About
Oh,
stealing
it's
his
still his
property?
identity.
His identity. Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
can't be that early, right? That has
That
to.
was one. That was one. That was one of the first, though. That was one of the earliest things of our
No,
interactions all together.
no way.
But from what my mom told me, we didn't start hanging out though. Like our first few Christmases, I'd have to ask her, but she was saying like our first few Christmases, we just kind of like acknowledged each other. We didn't really start like hanging out, playing with each other when we were kids.
Do you
It was,
remember
it
how
was
the
a couple of years.
Does she remember how we started hanging out, or do you remember
I'd
at
have
all?
to. I'd have to ask her. I'd have to ask her.
Because like I'm pretty sure it was gonna be you and I, because I think that's how
Yeah,
the we steal Kyle's identity or property. I thought we stole his
yeah.
identity.
'Cause I always remember the word property. I don't know why.
I don't. Well, we didn't know what the hell any of it meant.
See, I know you mean identity. I mean, I feel like that's just such a big word for a kid. Property is just such a common word. I
you
feel like
gotta
you said
you
property.
gotta also remember that younger me knew way more than anybody actually realized.
Yeah, but for some reason the word property just
Yeah,
sticks in my
property
head.
sticks out to me too, but I think I might have said identity as we got older. I wasn't able to say it correctly, so I just had to say property.
Huh.
I think that's what it was. I didn't know what identity meant. I didn't know what we were stealing. We just had like this one item. I'm like, we have his identity or his property.
Yeah, yeah,
I think that's what it was. I couldn't say identity. I was like, I identity property. We just have his property.
yeah. Property.
We have his
Property.
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 Property. Yeah.
Anyways, that
Oh
was
man. Oh, I
that
remember
was a
that.
while ago.
Was it really that early? I thought we were like 5 or 6. I thought it was like
Yeah.
five
Might
or
have been, but,
six.
but like I said, my mom said that our first few we didn't really hang out much.
But I mean, how old was that picture of us in that piece of cardboard
Oh, I
with
mean,
me
I
sitting
probably
on you
would have.
guys?
I would have probably already been in school by then.
Huh?
I would have probably already been in school by then. I'm
Oh
pretty
yeah.
sure, like at least in like first grade or something.
I would have been in kindergarten or getting close to.
That's my point.
Damn. I remember that. I still remember that. I can remember we were in the office. And one of the earliest ones I can remember was he was in the living room and we swiped it from him and then we ran to the office. And then I remember we
So he was
locked it.
holding what?
What?
He had what in his hand?
So he
Took what?
was he was playing in the living room
Yeah.
and we went and stole something. I don't remember what it was, but we stole it.
Oh, I did that all the time.
Well, yeah, but like we stole some toy. We called it his identity or his property, and then we ran to the office. And I remember sitting in the chair, and even back then, I'm pretty sure I was leading the charge on things. So I was like, so. And you were standing like, what do we do? And I'm like, I don't know yet. I'm formulating an idea. I don't know yet. We're coming up with something. And I pretend to work on the computer
Oh yeah.
and be your boss. Didn't we have a game where I was your boss or something?
I don't know. Probably sounds about right.
I was a take charge kind of kid, you know.
Yeah.
That's why I suspect I started.
Well, part of it was because it was some of the stuff that you did was a little mean to him. It was hard for me to
Oh yeah.
take charge on that. I didn't want to do that.
Oh yeah. I had no remorse.
Exactly.
Oh, no wonder my mom was always just like, every time I went somewhere, behave. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
What do I
yeah.
look like? A terrorist to you? Yes.
Well, not far off from one.
Apparently I was. That's
I
why.
remember my earliest memories. though. I remember taking like my little toy set, I had like a little barn, you know. What was that? It was based off like a TV show, you know, like the little plastic pigs and cows and all that.
Oh,
I used to play with it, little tykes or whatever.
it was little. Is it Little People?
Little people, little people. All right. I think it was a TV show with it.
I mean, I had them too. I don't remember if there was a
Wasn't there a
TV show.
TV show? Because I think I remember. Anyways, yeah, I remember playing with them in the like living room area, back when it was just all wood, when they're still framing the house. I remember when they made the concrete to the little I guess entryway area to the front door.
Really? They just had you playing in a construction site? What a
Yeah.
wonderful
Well,
dad.
because my dad would go out. My dad had to go out there, you know, and someone had to watch, and they didn't have a babysitter, so I always tagged along. And then I'd play in the front yard or in the house. Yeah.
That sounds extremely dangerous. Because I feel like if
I
I had
remember
been,
they showed me that. I said, "This is gonna be your room," you know.
because I feel
It's
like
not really enclosed yet, but this is it.
because I feel like if I had if that did like my dad, I feel like I would have caused problems.
Oh yeah. That's then again that's you.
It is me. But no, see, my theory is that I approached you to play the first time. I suspect that's what it would be. I'm assuming that's what it would be. I mean, it's possible you approached because you were older, but
It was mutual.
potentially mutual. But I suspect I might have started the engagement, just being because that's my personality, and that's the personality I had then. But I don't remember.
Fisher Price.
There it is. Yep.
Look up Fisher Price, Little People. This is it.
Yeah. I remember. I had it set like that too. Well, I guess it was my
man.
brother's, but yeah.
I remember that. Oh my gosh.
Yes, I had it set like that. I loved it.
And then what was the other show?
The chicken was my favorite. I put him up in the roost and then had him like fly around like a plane. I was a very violent kid. I liked war. I blame my brother though. He showed me Star Wars: Attack of the Clones, and I was obsessed with war ever since then.
Oh yeah.
He showed me Star Wars: Attack of the Clones, and I remember that. I remember seeing it. I was like, well, this is freaking cool. And I'm like, all right, war it is. War is cool. Blowing things up, guns and planes. Ever since then, I blame my brother for that one. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, that was good. Do you?
What was the name of the farmer show? What the farmer?
I don't know. Maybe you're thinking of the Veggie Tales, maybe.
Oh no, not VeggieTales. That is a good show though.
VeggieTales. VeggieTales was not good. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I did not enjoy VeggieTales. The religious tomato, it just fell
Didn't, oh,
off.
there's some good ones.
Like the
I
like
used to
the
watch that in catechism all the time.
like the cucumber would pop a joke, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is funny, all right? This is a cartoon. And then the tomato would read gospel, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, what the hell is this?
Oh,
I'm
that's
like,
not
why
it.
is he preaching to me right now about the faith of God and blah blah? I'm like, what?
You did not think like that as a kid.
I didn't like it because I didn't like church. I definitely didn't like that. I was like, why is the tomato talking about God? Because, like, you never see God on TV. That's not a thing. No one talks about faith on TV. So here I am watching faith on TV, and I'm like, well, this is strange. You know, I'm used to public access. PBS. That's all I watched as a kid before they got Dish was
Caillou.
PBS.
I don't want to sing the song out loud. Remember the Caillou song?
The thug one?
Yeah, there's that one. I said, yeah, you watched Caillou.
I did
And
watch
yeah,
Caillou.
and then the song popped into my head.
I'm just a kid, and I got a big head. I'm always crying. I'm Caillou. F you. I'm Caillou.
It's not it.
I don't. Growing up is not a joy. I don't like these effing toys. Go smoke a bleezy with your boy. I'm Caillou. Oh man, did you ever? Not Little Bill. What was the?
Little Bill. Oh,
Little
yeah.
Bill was good. Did you? Do you remember the tapes?
Yes, sir.
No. Do you remember the tapes that your mom?
VHS.
Do you remember the VHS tapes your mom gave my mom for me to watch? It had like Scooby Doo on it and stuff.
Yeah.
It had yeah. It had only a part.
Oh, yeah.
Of
VHS.
It only had part of the one of the Scooby Doo movies, the Alien one. I literally it took me over a decade before I saw the whole thing.
Really?
Because then Cartoon Network showed it. I'm like, wait, this is coming back from my memory. I was like 15. And I'm like, whoa, my memory is like, what is going on here?
Yeah. We used to record stuff all the time.
Oh yeah. VHS.
VHS recording was huge.
I was see that's why I like cameras and stuff now. I was obsessed with like the idea of recording something with a camera and then watching it back. I was like, let's make a movie. And that's how Sword started, and that's how we got
Oh, that was how we started.
Pickle Boy.
Pickle Boy and Pizza Man, and then
I don't remember Pizza. I just remember Pickle Boy.
that's what you were.
Right. What were you?
Pizza Man.
Oh, I don't remember that. I just remember like the first one where it was like me waking up at like 8 a.m. or something or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
And like
recorded
getting
with
into my
mom's camera.
car and hitting like
Her little tiny blue Canon camera.
yeah. You could only record a minute of video at a time.
It wasn't that short.
Yeah, it was.
What?
Yeah, we could only
It had
record.
like 2 minutes of footage.
Yeah, because we recorded 2 different videos.
No, it was more than a minute though.
Oh. Maybe that's all we could. I don't remember. I thought we could only record a minute at a time.
Oh no. We recorded longer.
Oh. See, I was used to my dad's VHS camera that could record a really long time, like 15 minutes.
Oh. Well, technically, I looked it up one time. It's the reason why it's 30 minutes is because then they can tax it as a video camera.
Right.
If it's shorter than 30 minutes, then it's a camera. If it films longer than 30 minutes, then they can put tax on it as a actual video camera.
That's annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, currently, right now, it's actually a technological limitation.
But what about computers, though? I mean, we can record with a computer basically indefinitely.
I have 4 terabytes we can eat up on this computer, so
Yeah, we can record with a computer indefinitely. There's
Pretty
no limit
much.
to computer recording.
yeah. But no,
But I mean, then again, you can tax a computer like crazy.
do you remember the first time I ever stayed over at your house? It was Kyle's birthday / first communion.
Is that it?
Huh?
Is that it? Or is that it? Was
Yeah,
it
yeah,
the
yeah,
one?
yeah, yeah. I remember, or maybe it might not have been his first communion. Might have been. No, no, no. Yeah, yeah, it was his first communion. Yeah, definitely. Well, no, I think it was his birthday, and then I remember his first communion. They're bleeding together.
Oh, it might have been the same thing.
I know, but
I think we might have had one party.
either way, I remember, and we were playing with Legos the entire time because he got those new Indiana Jones sets,
Oh yeah, Legos.
and I wanted to stay the night.
Well, Indiana Jones, that would have been Christmas.
No, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. That wasn't
Yeah,
Christmas.
you got that for Christmas,
Oh, he froze. Oh no, we lost him.
I swear.
Well, he
What?
might have gotten the set at Christmas, but we were playing with it.
Oh, that could be.
Yeah, I think he had the the actual temple. I think he got it for Christmas, and then he
Yeah,
got
he
those
got it
trucks.
The reason why I remember for Christmas is because he got that, and then I got some other.
Your parents spent.
What was the other big city?
Oh yeah.
Was
Your parents spent $200 on that Christmas.
I don't know if they were the $100 ones.
Yeah, they were.
I think they were like 80.
Well, yeah, still though, they probably also gave you other gifts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't the $100 one.
But I mean, it's $100 now. Back then, it was 80. It's $100 now, easy. But back then, it wasn't. But like that's still crazy. They spent $200 on that Christmas. On that Christmas.
That's because they gave us hardly anything for our birthdays.
Oh.
For our birthdays, all we usually did was just go out to eat.
I don't know if I could ever put a.
We didn't really get birthday presents. Our birthday present was going out to eat, and then they give us a big gift for Christmas.
Yeah, I don't remember
Gifts.
my birthday and Christmas gifts that far back.
But it was either that or a SpongeBob. I got like the SpongeBob set too one time.
I remember the SpongeBob set.
Oh no, operators.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. I
I
got one of the big operator sets.
What I think was interesting was like back then, you and Kyle were already drastically different people. Like we're talking, and literally, it was literally right brain and left brain.
Yeah.
It still is.
I don't know. We have. I think it's more or less the things we focus on. We have very similar beliefs. So I've had discussions with him. I don't want to mention some. I don't want to mention some of these, but we've had discussions. We have very similar beliefs.
I'm sure you have similar beliefs, but like the way you go about everything, though.
Our everyday lives are different.
Yeah.
Our beliefs, our political beliefs, are very similar.
Yeah. But no, what was interesting was because you were very neat and tidy, he was very messy.
Well, I was very messy in the beginning too, and then I had a problem with it because I couldn't find anything.
But I mean, you stayed.
Part of it was.
But you have
Part of
stayed.
it was that we had bunk beds for the longest time. And I never really had a problem with it.
Right.
And then I could never. And then my room was a mess sometimes, and I could never find anything. So then I started organizing, so I could actually find stuff that I wanted to play with.
Like, don't get me wrong. So like, your rooms were. Your room has been messy at times, but for the majority of the time, at least the times I saw anyways, it was clean and like everything had its place. And I was like, Jesus, you're a psychopath.
Yeah.
And Kyle's,
That's how I could remember where to put stuff. Remember where to find it.
and then Kyle's was a mess. You were okay with me going in there. He hated me going in there, or anybody going into his room.
He hated me going in there especially.
Yeah.
He didn't want me to touch any one of his toys.
Well, you also didn't want me to touch any of your stuff, because you had it in its place.
Yeah.
Then there was my room, which
Well, you had a problem with me playing with your stuff. I remember for the longest time,
I
you wouldn't let
have
me touch
problems with
your
people.
combine.
I still have problems with people touching my stuff.
Your Lego combine? Oh my gosh, I could never touch that.
No, because I remember all the things you've broken, and I remember every single one of them, and I was just like, I'm not letting you break this. I'm not spending 2 hours putting this together again.
I test things to their limit, so I'll put it that way.
Oh, I know.
I test things
I
to their
remember. Why do you think I cry at my birthday parties? I cry for different reasons now.
limit.
Why do you think I cried back then?
Oh, let me play with this. How durable are these Legos?
Not very durable at all.
Look, I
It's
got a
like-
plane. Wait, let's reenact 9/11.
And it's like, it's weird because, like, Kyle, you and Kyle both play with toys about the same. You're kind of just like, ow, whatever. But then after you're done, how you take care of the toys was different. Kyle would just leave them there. You would go put them back in their place. Me, I was very careful with them, and then I put them back.
Hmm?
Which is, I don't know why. Anyways, we'll continue until he's back.
Use a pen.
Why do you need a pen?
One. I wanted to. I thought of something. I need to solve something. Go on.
Are you gonna be listening, or are you gonna be
Something-
doing math?
Something popped into my head. I want to continue. I know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah. So
You're talking about your way of organizing your room after you're done playing with the toy.
yeah. Well, my room didn't have toys.
Oh. Yeah.
And to this day, I still see the differences. So Kyle, I'm about in between you and Kyle. Wouldn't you say I'm in between you two?
I mean, in between.
So like my stuff has its place. It's organized, but it's clutter. It's a mess. You know, like you've seen my desk at my house. You've seen my TV stand. It looks like a mess, a total wreck. But like,
Yeah, you've really gone downhill, my man.
well, I've done. This is how my life. This is how I've always done things. I just kind of pile stuff on top of it, and then one day I go and clean it. It's always irritating because my main problem is I put something away, and then the very next day I'm like, oh crap, I need that, and then I don't want to dig it out, and so I have to dig it out, and then I don't want to put it back in the way I put it back. That's my problem.
Yeah.
I need a freaking aircraft hangar to like store all my stuff in it properly, and have it all spread out and organized, and so I don't have to dig. I hate the digging because I need it. I want it now. I don't want to wait.
So, Crystal Skull, the movie. Oh, I need to look. So the movie came out in 2008. You would have been 8 years old. So imagine a year after that, maybe that same year is when the Lego set came out.
Would have been the same year.
That same year in the winter. So it would have been 2009.
Yeah, that would have been First Communion.
Would have been when he was about 8 years old.
Yep, First Communion. I was right.
The good old days.
My brain
Yeah.
is this. He knows. He's got information up there. Everybody's like, how the hell do you remember those dates? And I'm like, I don't know, but my brain.
See, I've thought a lot about this, and I think it's just there's just certain things just stick. I've had that too, and it's just like there's certain moments. I don't know what it is, but it just sticks.
So do you remember when I was working on the timeline of all of the times I've made YouTube videos? Of not YouTube videos, made videos? And I narrowed it down within like a week, within like 2 weeks of when I went to my my friend's birthday party. Like, how? No, everybody's, how did you do that? And I'm like, I do not know.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't remember that. I'm like, I can't remember anything to a specific date. You know? I'm like...
Part of it for me is as far as narrowing it down by year, is based off of what grade I was in. Because you can remember your teachers. I remember my teachers very well. You had them by over a year, or basically a year.
Yeah.
And so my point is that based off of what grade you were in, you know how old you were.
So, interestingly enough, I remember stuff by seasons. I was a farmer.
That too,
So
that too, that too.
I was a farmer. So, seasons, they worked easy for me. Seasons, this is the winter. We don't do anything. Or there's work to be done outside. And so I remember stuff by seasons. And then I'm like having to like count seasons out. And I'm like, okay, this spring was that spring. Okay. And then I can get down to, then I can work backwards into months.
I did that actually. I wrote down what I did each season, all spring, yeah, and then winter and summer.
I'm not that big of a psychopath. I didn't do that.
No, but no, for the last 5 years of my life, one random day. No, I'm not saying this is what I do.
When did...
I'm saying what I did. I said there was one random day during quarantine, when I was like, I was just kind of just thinking about my life, just kind of like all the things I've done throughout my college experience. So I went down and I wrote down what I did each sort of like season as far as I could. I went back 5 years. I think I went back to my senior, actually it's more than that. I went right about my junior year of high school. Because it was I think my sophomore year is when I got my iPod, and I started going back. Oh, when did I start Survival Craft? When did I start Heyday and all that?
One of the first movies I can remember going to see was Finding Nemo. That would have been that would have been the summer of 2003.
Did Polar Express come out?
2004.
2004? Oh, really? Do you look that up too?
Yeah, because those are the
It's
first
one
two
of the
movies
first
I
I
remember
remember.
seeing. What?
Polar Express is one of the first I remember seeing.
Really?
I didn't see Finding Nemo. And I want to look at like blockbuster hits, so I could like remind myself. I mean, I remember seeing the first Fantastic Four, but that was after that. The old movie. Oh, what was I remember seeing that like Lion King 1.5. Was it 2.5?
Oh my
Remember
god!
they did.
Actually, you know what? So I saw Finding Nemo, and then I saw Home on the Range, and then I saw Polar Express.
Home on the Oh, I haven't seen Home on the Range.
It's not a very good movie.
Didn't see that.
I remember seeing Home on the Range. It was for daycare. We went to the movie theaters for daycare, and we saw Home on the Range. I was just looking up. That was in April of 2004. So I would have gone to Finding Nemo the previous year in June with Grandma. I remember that. And then I went to Home on the Range with daycare the next summer. And then that winter, we went with Grandma. I think it was November, because I think there was snow on the ground.
There was definitely no. It would have been. It would have been like December, because I remember we had like a fake Santa that came to our house.
I don't remember that.
Oh, I do. I remember this because I was trying to figure out who it was. It was like we had a fake Santa that came to our house, that asked us what we wanted for Christmas. And then I remember later on, Grandma asked about that when we were at the theater. She said, "Did Santa go to your house?" I was like, "How did she know about that?"
She set it up.
Yeah.
I do not remember the Santa. I don't think Santa.
That was a conversation. I remember that conversation before we watched the movie, which is crazy.
I don't remember.
I don't know how I do.
Santa didn't go to
that
my
conversation
house.
before. Yeah.
Santa was a jerk.
Okay, I remember she asked you and you said no, because she went to Megan's house.
Didn't see me. That's for damn sure. I know that.
Also, I remember all sorts of things from the movie. I remember like about quarter of the way, like 3/4 way through that movie, was finished with like a pop. She had like, I don't know, it's just like all kernels left. Like
I
all
don't
like the
remember
really
that
small
much.
pieces of popcorn
See,
that were like not like
you were
fully popped.
6. I was 4. I don't remember any
She
of that.
gave those to me. She was like, "Hey, do you want the rest of my popcorn?"
You got kernels.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it wasn't like the. It was like the smaller pieces of the
oh,
popcorn.
yeah.
Smaller. Yeah, she didn't want all this. I was
I
like, "Oh
would
yeah, sure, I'll take them."
I would have been 4. I don't remember anything.
I was a kid. I was like, "Oh, I'll eat anything."
I remember I fell asleep.
Popcorn. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I passed out within the first like 5 minutes.
Blockbuster movies in the early 2000s.
I only remember the first half of movies. I never remember the second half because I always pass out about the climax. Interestingly enough,
It would have had been anim. Would have been.
you would have been 6 years
It would
old.
have been animated movie.
Polar Express was an animated movie.
I was looking up animated movies in the early 2000s.
So I think Grandma might have
I'm
taken
pretty sure
me
they
to see Finding Nemo. I don't think you would. I want to say I don't think you would have come along.
Oh, Chicken Little. Did I see Chicken Little?
I saw Chicken Little in theaters. Again, I remember the first half.
That was 2005.
Do you remember Sesame Street Live?
Ah, yeah. When was that?
Well, that would have been our entire childhood. We went for like 3 or 4 years straight.
Oh man, I do remember that.
Yeah, Sesame Street Live was great.
That was, yes.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember when I think the last one we went to, it was the letter K, and I was like, yes, finally,
Letter K.
yes. I got excited because I never do the letter K on Sesame Street. It's always some other random letter, and I'm like, well, these letters are pointless. Anyways, yeah. There was
Oh, and then remember the nativity scene.
that would have been later in my memory. I don't remember that.
I remember you got mad at us because we went to go see that movie. No, not see that movie. We went to go see it one time, and I think I had gotten my camera at that time. I think it was like 8th grade. This was later. And you didn't, and grandma didn't have you go because she thought you weren't interested in that sort of stuff. You got really mad.
It wasn't that I was interested in seeing it. I think I was just. It's more of a I get to go hang with you guys, and we get to screw around.
That's
Probably because Grandma was like, I don't want to handle. I can barely handle you two together. I can't handle him as well. You three are a tornado. We were a tornado for disaster.
Oh, Cars.
What?
2006. Monsters and Aliens. Oh, I saw that.
I didn't see that one.
Shark Tales. Did I see? Shark Tales was 2004.
I did not see Shark Tales.
I remember. I know I've seen the movie.
I'm
I'm trying to remember if I saw it in theaters. I think I did see it in theaters. That was 2004.
Yes, but the first movie I remember seeing in theaters was Finding Nemo. I remember that distinctly because I slept through it.
That was 2003.
Yeah. That's interesting that I remember.
202.
Huh?
I don't remember seeing Finding Nemo though.
I don't think you were with me and Grandma. I think it was just Grandma and I.
Oh, I am.
Which
You
is.
fell asleep.
Huh?
You fell asleep.
Yep. That's probably why they took me. It's probably just like, yeah, we get them to shut up for an hour and a half.
Surf's Up.
I think my favorite memories were definitely the Children's Museum.
SpongeBob SquarePants the movie.
I
That was 2004.
I saw that one on DVD.
I think I did
At
see
the
that on
Water
DVD
Bottle's
too.
house.
Pretty sure I did see that on DVD. It was 2004.
I slept through that one as well.
See, it's weird to think about because 2004 it seems like like I would have been real little, but I was 7 because I remember I was older at that time. I'm trying to remember if there was a movie I went to when I was just real little.
Yeah, you were 7. I was 4. So it's like, so you remembering it, not as impressive. Me remembering it is like, you remember
Kung
that?
Fu Panda.
We watched that.
Panda has a really interesting story. We were supposed to go see that movie at like 6 o'clock or 7. We were going to go right after church. And Kyle.
Oh, he got sick, didn't he?
Oh no, he didn't clean his room. How was it?
I think I
Lost. I feel like
remember that.
I can't remember if he lost something. No, I feel like he lost his shoes in his room. His room was mess
Well, his room's always a
beyond
mess.
beyond repair. No, I mean this was like the worst it's ever been, and it was really bad. And I feel like it was something about his shoes. I feel like either he lost his shoes and we had to clean his room, or it was like he's had to clean his room. It was one of the two. Either way, he had to clean his room. We spent till like it's 9 o'clock. We went to like one of the later showings, like almost 10 o'clock, to go see that movie. Um, I think we brought our own popcorn in too. We popped up popcorn and we put it in like my mom's purse or bag or something. We brought it in the theater.
Wasn't I going to go see the first showing with you though?
No, no, we only saw it once.
No. Sorry, no. Wasn't I going to go with you for that 6 o'clock showing?
I don't remember.
The minute you mentioned that, I was like, wasn't he? I was like, I remember. I swear, it's so foggy. I just remember. I remember the Kyle. I remember the minute you said like, but Kyle. I was like, yes. Wasn't he like sick or he couldn't go because he got in
No,
trouble or something?
yeah, he got in trouble because his room was so messy, and we had to clean it.
I never had that
But
problem.
I was trying to remember. I was trying to remember why that was a problem. I think it was just because they didn't want to go unless he cleaned his room. And he didn't clean it before church, and so we had to go then. Either that, or it was like he lost his shoes in his room. It was one of the two. It was something like that.
Well, he has a problem with. Well, remember the
All
time
I remember is that we had to clean his room before we could go.
Remember the time he yeeted his shoes out the car window,
Oh,
and your dad made him walk home.
oh, no. That was one time because me and him were fighting in the car as we were driving home, and and decided to run through the pasture to go to the house. Meanwhile, I ran on the road to go to the house because they dropped us off at the stop sign and said you guys can walk. And so I just ran home on the road. Meanwhile, I keep doing it. Kyle
It doesn't.
kept
I'll cut it.
running through the pasture. Well, he lost his shoe because he doesn't tie him very tight, and he stepped right out of it. Didn't bother to go back. We're so pissed at him because he didn't bother to go back for his shoe.
Well, yeah. Well, they were really worried
He
about
stepped
the
right out of it
orthotics.
and just left it.
They were worried about the orthotics.
Not two, because his orthotics were in that shoe.
I had
So he had
no
to get all new
idea.
orthotics. He had to get all new orthotics and all new shoes. And it wasn't till like that August when our uncle baled the hay. They finally found the shoe.
Oh, I thought your dog went and found him, but yeah, maybe it was our
No,
uncle.
they never found it until the hay got baled.
Wow.
He saw it out in the field. They were either windrowing or when they were actually baling the hay. No, that's probably when they were windrowing. And then he brought it up to the house. He was like, yeah,
I
I found
remember
your shoe.
you guys telling me that story. It would have been at CCD, I think.
Yeah.
That was. Oh boy. When you guys told me that story, I'm like, you guys, he's in deep. He was in trouble. Because I don't think he wasn't allowed to go to CCD that week, was he? Because I think he was grounded.
I don't know. I don't know if they grounded him from CCD.
Or maybe I wanted to go to your house that weekend or something, but he was
That's
grounded.
probably what it is. Yeah, that's probably what it is. I mean, they never really grounded us from CCD.
I never got grounded for
The
CCD.
only time we missed CCD was I found another really old movie. I'll tell you about it later. The only time we missed CCD is if we had homework or something, like we had to get it done. No, but I saw Scooby Doo the movie.
I-
That was 2002.
There you go. You beat me.
2002. Although technically, is that the second? The second one came out 2004. And I know I saw the second one. Monsters Unleashed. I know I saw that one. That was 2004. The first one was 2002. I'd have to watch that movie and see if I remember certain parts. What parts I remember?
That's the one with Scrappy Doo.
Yeah, that's the number 2 is the one with Scrappy.
No,
And
no,
I know
no,
I
no,
saw
no.
that
Well, Scrappy's in both of them, but the
both.
first one is They have Scrappy. They're on the island.
Oh, the one with the island is the first one?
I think so.
That's the one I saw.
Yeah, I think so.
This one from 2000. What's the second one?
The second one's Monsters Unleashed.
But what's the one with all the souls?
That's the island one.
Is that the first one?
Yes.
What's the second one?
Monsters Unleashed.
You're just saying it. Tell me what
that's
happened.
where like they had the tar monster. They all the monsters got loose. That's the one with the fart that they lit on fire.
I have to watch that.
And the end credits, because you and I were obsessed with it, because we're like, is that possible?
I have to watch that one actually. But yeah, the 2002. I know I saw that. I know I've seen that one.
But the obsession with it would have been much later, because that's when I started watching MythBusters. So that would have been much, much later.
See.
Yeah. Anyways, we are well over 2 hours. We are at like 2 hours and 13 minutes.
Are you gonna cut this?
No, this is good. I mean, it's good. I mean, everybody's like, "What the heck?" But I mean, it's an interesting
Yeah,
conversation.
we're literally talking about what happened the last 23 years of my life.
23 yours.
That's 21 years, I remember.
So you have me beat on the movie. I thought I was gonna take it to my grave, but I guess not.
2002.
Damn.
I mean, you technically have me beat in age because I was 5.
Oh. Aha. Go
I mean,
younger me.
I'd have to. I guess if I wanted to beat you, I'd have to go back to like movies from like 1999.
No way you remember anything from 1999.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't believe I remember that. That's crazy. My brain remembers some stuff.
I'd have to really dig back. I mean, I'm sure I remember TV shows from that era, but it's like, how do I know if that's not like a rerun I watched at a later time? Because 1999, I would have been before I moved out.
I definitely don't remember TV shows.
To the new house, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I would like to thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. New podcasts every other week, every other Friday, 11 a.m. Central Time. And good night.